just as tools, but almost like a new digital species.
Okay, that's definitely not what I pictured when we started. But before
It says AI is like that, but even bigger.
he's talking about ending poverty. Even imagine that many jobs. Suddenly AI taking over work.
Intelligence, even consciousness in a whole new way.
Yeah.
If a machine writes selves better too, which is exciting,
Yeah.
but kind of scary at the same time. So much how people connect, understand each other, maybe even how countries
Will be happy about these changes. Some people will be scared, resist it, even fight against it.
Of course, change is hard, especially when it's this big and this fast.
Hey everyone, ready to dive into something big? We're tackling AI this time, and you guys have sent us some seriously thought-provoking articles and speeches. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's AI going from just tools, helpful but basic,
Yeah.
to something way more intense.
Yeah, like potentially changing society level stuff.
Yeah.
As big as the internet, some experts are saying.
Exactly. And to kick us off, there's this story from Mustafa Suleiman, he's a big name in AI, about his nephew, who's just 6 years old, asking, what is AI? Sounds simple, right?
It does, but it's tricky. Because if AI is everywhere soon, how do we explain it so everyone gets it, not just the tech people?
Like, imagine trying to explain the internet back in the 80s. Big changes were coming, but nobody knew how big.
Exactly. And Suleiman, he goes even further, says we shouldn't see AI just as tools, but almost like a new digital species.
Okay, that's definitely not what I pictured when we started. But before anyone freaks out about robots, it's not that literal. It's more about how fast AI is learning, changing, like, it's dynamic, not just a thing we made.
Right, like instead of a hammer, which is always a hammer, AI is more like, how to put it? It's constantly learning on its own, becoming something new, changes how we see technology completely.
Okay, so that's Suleiman's take. Then we've got Sam Altman. He's the CEO of OpenAI, saying we're in a whole new age, the intelligence age.
It's comparing it to, like, the biggest moments in history, inventing the wheel, the printing press, even the Industrial Revolution. Those all changed what humans could do. And Altman says AI is like that, but even bigger.
He's talking about ending poverty, curing diseases, even fixing climate change. Imagine everyone having the best education, healthcare, anything, because AI is helping us. It's a lot to take in.
It is, but that's assuming we use AI well. That responsibility part is huge.
Totally agree. We'll get into that. But first, remember that FM Camp keynote? They had this analogy for how fast AI is growing, the lily pond thing.
Oh yeah, where every day the lilies double. At first it's no big deal, but then, bam, the whole pond is covered. They're saying that's AI right now about to explode.
And think about how much tech already changed us, even recently. Smartphones used to be weird, now we can't live without them. FM Camp says AI will be like that, but on a way bigger scale.
Like, it's already happening in little ways. Those virtual assistants, personalized stuff online, self-driving cars are getting closer. This isn't the future. It's now.
Yeah. So we've got AI as a new species, the intelligence age beginning, and this lily pond thing reminding us it's happening fast. But what does this actually mean for us day to day? That FM Camp keynote also got into jobs, and that's a big one.
Oh yeah, they didn't hold back. Goldman Sachs estimates AI could mess with 300 million jobs in the next 2 years. Globally, that's huge.
It's hard to even imagine that many jobs. Suddenly, AI taking over work doesn't sound so sci-fi anymore. It's like right around the corner.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
What happens to all those people? How do we even prepare for jobs that don't exist yet? But the keynote, they actually saw this as a chance to rethink how we work and learn entirely.
So instead of being scared, we should be learning to work with AI. Is that what they're saying?
Exactly. They gave examples of, like, doctors using AI to read x-rays way better than humans, or architects designing amazing buildings that are also eco-friendly, all thanks to AI.
Okay, so there are some good sides to this. But if work changes that much, what happens to our sense of purpose? What makes us us if AI can do so much?
That's where it gets deep, right? They talked about human exceptionalism, the idea that humans are special, different from anything else. But if AI can do what we do, are we still so special?
Right. They even showed examples of AI painting, writing music, even whole novels. It makes you wonder, what does it even mean to be human, to be creative, when machines can do it too?
Yeah, makes you think about intelligence, even consciousness, in a whole new way.
Yeah.
If a machine writes a poem that moves you, does that mean less coming from a human? Or just different?
Big questions. It's like AI is making us look in the mirror, figure out what really matters about being human.
Exactly. And that might be the biggest part of this whole AI thing. It's not just tech getting better, it's us understanding ourselves better too, which is exciting,
Yeah.
but kind of scary at the same time.
For sure. But the FM Camp people made it clear this isn't some abstract debate. AI is going to be in everything. They talked about Samsung's new instant translation feature. Like, imagine talking to anyone in the world, no problem.
Whoa, that'd be incredible. Breaking down language barriers could change so much how people connect, understand each other, maybe even how countries get along.
Okay, now that's a future I can get behind. But let's be real, not everyone will be happy about these changes. Some people will be scared, resist it, even fight against it.
Of course, change is hard, especially when it's this big and this fast. But like the keynote said, we can't just ignore it. We can't blindly love it either. You got to think about what happens next.
So where do we go from here? How do we use the good parts of AI without causing new problems? Because history shows tech always has some unintended consequences, right? Like every invention has a downside, even if we don't see it right away. But with AI, it feels like the stakes are even higher.
Definitely. And this is where I think the conversation needs to change. It's not about what AI can do, but what we want it to do.
Yeah.
We all need to be part of that discussion, not just the tech people making it.
So how do we make sure AI is used ethically? The FM Camp keynote didn't really have an answer, but they did say talking about it is key, right?
Yeah, they were big on being proactive.
Yeah.
Like, get everyone involved now. Ethicists, philosophers, sociologists, anyone who can bring something to the table. Don't wait till it's too late.
It's like AI is making us ask these huge questions about our values, what really matters. Like if we don't have to work as much because AI is doing it, what does that even mean for us? What's the point of it all then?
Whoa. Yeah, deep stuff. And maybe the most important questions we can ask right now, how we answer them will decide not just what AI becomes, but what we become in this century.
It's a lot, honestly. But through all this, the thing that sticks with me is that little kid's question, what is AI? The more we learn, the bigger that question gets,
And maybe that's the lesson. We're in uncharted territory here. Got to approach this with humility, not fear. Not trying to control it, but trying to understand it responsibly.
Because at the end of the day, we made AI. It's a reflection of us, good and bad. And what we do with it, that's the real test. It really does feel like we're on the edge of something huge with no instruction manual. Exciting, but yeah, kind of makes you nervous too.
It's like we're building the plane while we're flying it.
Yeah.
Right? But that's why this conversation is so important now, while we still have time to course correct.
So how do we make sure AI is used for good? The FM Camp keynote talked about collaboration being key, didn't they?
Yeah, bringing lots of different voices to the table. And not just the tech people. We need ethicists, philosophers, historians, people who can help us understand the bigger picture.
It's almost like AI is forcing us to define what it means to be human. Like if work isn't the center of everything anymore, what then? What kind of future are we building towards?
Man, that's the question, isn't it? And it's not an easy one, but it's one we have to ask, because how we answer it will shape everything.
It's a lot to think about, but through all these big ideas, I keep coming back to that little kid's question. What is AI? And honestly, the more we learn, the less sure I am of the answer.
Maybe that's okay. Maybe being a little unsure is a good thing right now.
Yeah.
Keeps us humble, open to learning.
Yeah, you're right. It's like this isn't about controlling the future. It's about shaping it together responsibly, with our eyes wide open.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's about all the time we have for this deep dive. Big thanks to everyone for sending in such thought-provoking stuff. Seriously, you guys kept us on our toes. We've covered a lot of ground, from AI being like a new species to this whole intelligence age thing. It's huge, and honestly, we're just scratching the surface here. But what's clear is this isn't just about robots and algorithms. This is about us, what we value, what we strive for, what kind of world we want to leave behind. So keep those questions coming, keep those conversations going, because the future of AI isn't pre-programmed. We're writing it together every single day. Until next time, stay curious.